Hello everyone, Inquisitor Vaughn here, and in today's video I kind of want to talk about a very niche topic, right? Most of the Emperor's conquests during the Unification Wars were noted to have taken place on the European side of the globe. The Imperial Palace is in the Himalayan Mountains, Ursh aka Russia, Frank aka France, Albia aka Britain, and other generally European and Asiatic places are referenced in the lore of Warhammer 30k. But what about America? I was curious about this since, I'm American, and I wanted to know if there was any information on the Emperor's journeys in the Warhammer 30k version of America. And it turns out that there is. In the Warhammer 40k universe, America was called Merica during the Unification Wars. According to available information, Merica, specifically North America, did exist in the Warhammer 30k setting. Early in its history, likely during the Dark Age of technology, Merica was known for its hive cities, its high fashion, and its ballrooms. But by the time the Unification Wars were initiated, it became characterized by its vast areas of radioactive wasteland. This, I think, clearly hints at the use of atomic bombs across Merica during the Age of Strife. That kind of thing happened across Terra, but it would seem that the eastern areas of the globe fared far better than what Merica did. According to available information, Merica was defeated and conquered by the Emperor's forces during the Unification Wars. That's pretty much all we have on North America in the Warhammer 40k lore, but we do have some information on South America. High Brazil was a powerful techno-barbarian nation-state in Sudamerica, or South America, based around where Brazil is currently. During the Unification Wars, it was ruled by a tyrant called Dalmath Kin, who was one of the last tyrants to resist the Emperor's rule on Terra. He would later be defeated by the Imperial Army and was succeeded by a direct descendant of his, but that successor, whose name was Lord Faram, would not be given a seat on the Council of Terra, refused the position by Malcador the Sigillite himself due to the questionable loyalty of Lord Faram. The fighting force of High Brazil were called the Dracos. They were described as swardy-skinned fighters that were exclusively recruited from the jungle regions of Sudamerica. They wore green scaled cloaks and reptile-styled helmets. As a fighting force, they were allowed to continue existing under the rule of the Emperor and even fought during the Great Crusade as part of the Imperial Army. So these are two pieces of information that we have indicating the Emperor's travels in America during the Age of Strife. Now, some of the Space Marine legions had their initial recruits taken specifically from certain areas on Terra due to the culture, traditions, or temperaments of the people that come from certain areas. Most of the Astartes legions would eventually expand their net of recruits so that they would be able to recruit from all across Terra. I was curious as to if there was any information on legions being started in Merica during the Unification Wars. While there is no way for us to actually know this directly, it's very easy for us to say that legions that recruited from across Terra, like the Imperial Fists, also recruited from Merica. But there is one legion that can convincingly be tied to the American wastelands, and it is the Blood Angels. Available information on the early history of the 9th Legion states that the Legion was deployed into some of the most inhospitable areas of Terra, burdened by radphages, aka radiation, and chemstrains, aka chemical warfare, areas described as wastelands where mutated breeds of humanity existed. It says that the early 9th Legion fought in these areas while the Emperor embarked upon grand conquests elsewhere. The early conflicts of the 9th Legion described their fighting style as a tsunami that swept across the land in a wave of brutal assaults which essentially cleared the areas that they were deployed to fight in. Available information also goes on to say that the early 9th Legion was one of the largest and fastest growing of the proto-legions in this arena of war because the nature of their gene seed enabled it to be implanted into barely human mutants, transforming them into fair-looking Astartes of the 9th Legion. As we went over, Merica, or specifically Nordmerica, was characterized by its vast radioactive wastelands. If there were any humans in Merica, they would likely be heavily mutated by radioactive fallout. There are no records of any specific battles that happened in North America during the Unification Wars, and no named tyrants from the nation state. And the reason for this could be because the population itself was barely human due to the fallout of previous wars. But the Emperor was a conqueror. He wanted all of Terra and all of humanity under his control. So this would naturally mean conquering North America, which it does say in the lore that he did. It doesn't say how he did it though, and this is why I suggest the Ninth Legion. The Ninth Legion, the Revenant Legion, the Eaters of the Dead, they who would eventually be called the Blood Angels, were essentially an Astartes bioweapon of transformation for populations of humanity that would have otherwise been wasted. This population would be incorporated into the Legion and made into fair Astartes of human appearance, thus adding to the war machine of the Imperium. The vagueness of their early campaigns, combined with the fact that the Emperor often deployed the 9th Proto-Legion isolated from the others due to their fighting style and gene seed, make it convincing that he used the 9th Proto-Legion to conquer America. But then again, that's just my theory. As something of a side note, I'm very peculiar about the symbols used in Warhammer 30k art and profiles of Space Marines. For the early 9th Legion profile, they barely had any kind of armorials or symbols of rank and purpose besides their Legion number on their shoulder pad. But a closer look at the silver scheme of the Legion reveals a flower-like symbol on the knee pad of the Marine. This symbol is a pentagram of Venus. It represents the orbit of Venus from Earth over a period of 8 years. This is the shape that it makes. Underneath the symbol is a kind of laurel. The placement of this symbol was intentional, and I wonder if it symbolizes the purpose of the 9th Legion, being that Venus was connected to themes of beauty, refinement, and transformation, or if it was a campaign badge representing how long it possibly took to conquer America, meaning 8 years. But that's pretty much it. That's all the lore that we have on America in Warhammer 30k lore. There is America, which is North America, and then there is Sud America, which is South America. Sud America has more lore attached to it, you know, with High Brazil and Lord Ferrum and the Dracos. But as far as America or North America is concerned, we only know that it was a radioactive wasteland. Still, the Emperor conquered it. And so, what do you think about my theory that the 9th Proto-Legion was the legion that the Emperor used to conquer America? Is it plausible? Am I bugging? Let me know what you think in the comments below. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Without anything else to say, Inquisitor Vaughn out. Remember, the Emperor protects and the future is successor.